निःसेदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानभानुमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अथ पवित्राङ्गिरसः पवित्रवन्तः परिवाजमासते पितैषां प्रत्नो अभिरक्षति व्रतं महः समुद्रं वरुणस्थिरो दधे धीरा इच्छेकुर्धरुणे श्वारभं पवित्रन्ते विततं ब्रह्मणस्पते प्रभुर्गात्राणि पर्येषि विश्वतः अतप्ततनूर्नतधामो अश्नुते श्रुतास इद्वहन्तस्तत्समाशत ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Offering our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri 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 Satya Sai Baba Varu. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. The 8th day in lighting the menorah, we wish all the Jews across the entire world Shalom. And Holy Christmas, 1 week to go, 5 days, I guess, to all the brothers and sisters across the world, all of you, all of us. The word Christ does not refer to an individual. Christ is not a person. Christ is a phenomenon. Why is a person called Christ? It's a title that is given to somebody who has lived an example, an exemplary life. The one who asavvaitapannapamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Asavvaitapannaha ayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. The one who completely surrenders the entirety of the existence in being awareness, and such person is called Christ. The name given to the body is less important than the title it is given to because of an exemplary life. Nowadays, these titles are given to all kinds of reasons, nothing to do with whether they lived an exemplary life or not. Acharya, Mahamahopadhyaya, Acharya means the one who practices and preaches. That is the title, Acharya. Now everybody is called Acharya. Acharya C. Narayan Reddy. Okay. So whatever those are not these are not titles that are given because they have accomplished something. These are titles given to people that have lived an exemplary life, the best amongst the best. Mahamahopadhyaya. Upa Adhyaya. Ya means the one who has awareness above and beyond intellect. Adhiya becomes Adhyaya. The one who has that capacity which is above and beyond the intellect. Upa Adhyaya. You have to understand all these words. Upadhyaya is a common thing used to what they call a teacher that teaches you mathematics in your elementary school. It's called a Upadhyaya. The words that are used in Sanskritam are much more profound than what you are used to in the context of English language. Upa Adhyaya means the one who is close to that which is above and beyond intellect. What is close to that which is above and beyond intellect? That's called choiceless awareness, the chit. So therefore, the one who is constantly in the awareness of the self is called Upadhyaya. Maha Upadhyaya, the great one amongst that. Maha Upadhyaya. See, Maha Mahopadhyaya is a title that is given to somebody who can actually instantaneously recently I saw this young boy who has done this incredible feat of 54 days of chanting with a particular patha. So incredibly inspiring, huh? Who says that Sanatana Dharma is degenerated? Sanatana Dharma can never be derooted, never, ever be derooted. No, even if the entire religions across the world will come together to do something to it, they cannot do it because it's like axing the branch on which you are sitting on a tree. Which fool will do that? If you are sitting on a branch on this side and you start cutting on the side where it is attached to the tree, what will happen to you? That is what you are doing if you are trying to cut Sanatana Dharma. You will yourself fall. So why I came to this? Christ is a title. What is the meaning of the word Christ? Have you ever looked into that? Huh? Have you ever asked why Jesus the Christ? The Christ is a title. Does anyone who is a Catholic Christian or a Christian know what does Christ mean? Huh? Madhuri, who is Madhuri here? What does the word Christ mean?
I don't really know. I'd have to look it
okay. You have to look it up.
up.
Yes. What does it mean? Anyone else? Do you know? Do you know? Huh? Put it on Chat GPT and see what it says. That's what somebody is doing.
Christ means the chosen one.
Huh?
The chosen one.
The chosen one. Ah. Christ means the chosen one. Is that what it said on Chat GPT? Yes.
The anointed one.
Yeah.
The
The Messiah.
anointed one. That is the same as the one as the chosen one. Yes. Why is he chosen? Then the next question is, how did he become eligible to be chosen? How are people chosen? And who chooses? For what reason? Why are they classified as the best amongst the best? The chosen one means the best amongst the best. Only those that are the best amongst the best will get chosen. You are all wondering what is this to do with Aruna Prashna, right? That's the next question. Okay, let Shyama chant the first 8 lines of what we did yesterday. Pavitravantah parivajamasate. Om.
ॐ पवित्रवन्तः परिवाजमासते पितैषां प्रत्नो अभिरक्षति व्रतम् महः समुद्रं वरुणस्थिरो दधे धीरा इच्छेकुर्धरुणेष्वारभम् पवित्रन्ते विततं ब्रह्मणस्पते प्रभुर्गात्राणि पर्येषि विश्वतः अतप्ततनोर्नतदामो अश्नुते श्रितास इद्वहन्तस्तत्समाशत
Brahmadevana. Okay, let's look at the words. Brahmadevanam.
ब्रह्मादेवानाम्
Asatas sadye tatakshuhu.
असतः सद्ये ततक्षुः
Rishaya saptatrischayat.
ऋषयः सप्तात्रिश्चयत्
Sarvetrayo agastyascha.
सर्वे त्रयो अगस्त्यश्च
Nakshatraishankruto vasanna.
नक्षत्रैः शङ्कृतो वसन्
Brahmadevanam.
ब्रह्मादेवानाम्
Asata sadye tatakshuhu.
असतः सद्ये ततक्षुः
Maybe I fall asleep. Hold on. Am I chanting in scale? Om Brahma Devanam.
ॐ ब्रह्मादेवानाम्
Asata sadye tatakshuhu.
असतः सद्ये ततक्षुः असतः सद्ये ततक्षुः
Rashaya saptatrischayat.
ऋषयः सप्तात्रिश्चयत् ऋषयः सप्तात्रिश्चयत्
Sarvetrayo agastyascha.
सर्वे त्रयो अगस्त्यश्च सर्वे त्रयो अगस्त्यश्च
Nakshatrayo त्रैशङ्कृतो वसन.
नक्षत्रैशङ्कृतो वसन् नक्षत्रैशङ्कृतो वसन्
ब्रह्मादेवानाम् असतः सद्येततक्षुः रषयः सप्तात्रिश्च यत् सर्वे त्रयो अगस्त्यश्च नक्षत्रैशङ्कृतो वसन.
ब्रह्मा देवानाम् असतः सद्येततक्षुः ऋषयः सप्तात्रिश्च यत् सर्वे त्रयो अगस्त्यश्च नक्षत्रैशङ्कृतो वसन.
So let's look at the padas. Brahma Devanam Asataha Sat Asataha Sat E Tatakshuhu Rishayaha Sapta Atrihi Cha Yat Sarve Atrayaha Agastyaha Cha Nakshatraihi Shankrutaha Avasana. Those are the words underneath that. Simply, the meaning is very simple. The word meaning, literal meaning is very simple. But just these mantras itself will require weeks of explanation. Brahma Devanam. Now, what are we talking about? What is the context of the previous 8 lines? The one who has complete purity and is well cooked with the yearning for the divine, and the one who has annihilated everything associated with that individual self, as in body consciousness, attachment to the mind, pulled by the senses. You understand? That's what we studied yesterday, no? The whole thing. That person will be chosen. That person will be the Christ. You understand? If you understood all the previous 8 lines and say, make a list of what are all the things that has happened to that individual with that jiva, where the mind is purified by the truth, where the bodies and the limbs are purified by water, where the intellect is purified by the wisdom, and where the 5 elements and the 5 senses that are there are purified by knowledge and by tapas. Asavai tapanna pamayatanam. Tapana, tapas. Such a person with such 100% purity and chastity will be the chosen one. And that person will become Brahma Devanam. Amongst the gods, he will be the Brahman. Brahma Devanam. This mantra is actually a larger mantra, a longer mantra than what we are seeing there. This Brahma Devanam is the first line. Brahma Devanam Padavih Kavinam ऋषिर्विप्राणां महिषो मृगाणां श्येनो गृध्राणागस्वधितिर्वनानागुं सोमः पवित्रमत्येतिरेभन्. That is the full mantra. The first line, first two words are Brahma Devanam. Brahma Devanam. The full mantra is from Rigveda. And this, how many people have you? I don't know. I mean, maybe this is too many questions I'm asking. Those that served as priests, acharyas at the New Jersey Yajna, etc. Do any of you remember where this mantra is chanted? Now you have to go back and look at the document. అప్పుడైతే ఊరికే పుస్తకం ముందు పెట్టుకొని
సార్ నవగ్రహంలో కేతు మంత్రం కేతు
very good, very sharp. This is the mantram that is associated with appeasing the Ketu Graham. What is Ketu Graham in English, sir?
there is no, it's a nodal. There is no particular name for Rahu Ketu. And in fact, in the Western astrology, there is no Rahu Ketu at all. There are only 7 grahas they take, according to my knowledge. I don't know.
Yeah, yes. Your knowledge is sharp. Rahu, Ketu are not actually not planets, but what are they called in English?
Nodal points only. So north
Nodal points. Nodal points. Which nodal points associated with reference to what? See, you can explain. Please go ahead.
No. I said Rahu Ketu are referred as the nodal points only. North node and south node, actually.
Which is south node? Which is north node?
Ketu is the south node and Rahu is the north node.
Fantastic. Very good.
So, thus, but in the Western astrology, to little knowledge I know, because these two are not taken. Only in Hindu, this one it is taken. But in our Hindu astrology, this is taken. Our Indian astrology, it is taken.
Okay. Madhuri, I have a request for you. You finish eating and come. Or if you are chewing gum, please throw away the gum and come. Thank you. So, why is this mantra used for Ketu Graham, sir?
Actually, here, shall I just say, because I don't know whether I am right, but correct me wherever I am wrong, and I want to get enlightened by you. See, basically, Brahma Devanam, Padavi Kavinam, Prishirpa Pranam, what is other Seno Gudra? Gudra means that is what you call Dega.
I know meaning. Don't worry about the meaning. I'm asking.
Okay. So
why is this mantra?
They are all actually superior amongst the Devas. Brahma is considered like that.
No, that is the meaning.
Okay.
I'm asking the context of why this mantra is used for Ketu.
Okay. Why this mantra
because see the other mantras like Pavitram Vitatante, there is the word Pavitram, and that Pavitram is therefore used for putting Pavitram. Shukram te Anyat Jayatante, because there is the word Shukra, it is used for Shukra Graha. Gauri Mimai Sallan Takshati is used for Gauri because there is the word Gauri in it. But in this mantra, there is no Ketu mentioned. Why is it used for Ketu? That is the question. Okay. Anyway.
Ketu is represent. I'm just telling the astrological point of view. Ketu is representing only the body, and Rahu is representing the what you call head. According to our what you call Jagan Mohini Avatara, Amrita Manthan, and all, it is explained that Rahu, Ketu are two of the grahas.
No, explain to all the people because they don't understand how this Ketu and Rahu came into picture. Does anyone know how Ketu and Rahu became nodal points? Yes. Okay, go ahead. Slow down and explain a little bit. Thank you.
Because when Amrita has come, Dhanvantari has brought the Amritam and given. Lord Krishna has taken Jaganmohini Avataram and tried to distribute this particular nectar between Rakshasas and Devatas, actually. That he said that he will do the mediation between Rakshasas and Devatas. In the process, these people have felt that Rakshasas, particularly this Rahu and Ketu, felt that he was more inclined and giving it to Devatas only, though we have equally participated in the churning of the ocean, we didn't get our share. In the process, these people went and sat in disguise between in between Surya and Chandra, they say, and then tried to take in disguise. They were there and tried to take this one. By the time Rahu has already taken the Amrutam, Jagan Mohini realizes that this fellow is the demon, and then he uses his Sudarshan Chakra and chopped off his head. This is the story which was told in Amrit Manthan, actually. And because he has already consumed a little pot of nectar, he became immortal, and the head remains actually, and the body, he means he did not die actually. That's what the point, because he became immortal. And constantly, because he was sitting by the side of Surya and Chandra, who have probably, they say that they have disclosed their identity. He constantly troubles Surya and Chandra, that is retired as Surya Grahanam and Chandra Grahanam, which we are trying to interpret mythologically. And scientifically, it has got a different explanation about the rotation and astronomical rotation and all those things. This is little I know about this particular thing.
Excellent. Let's all give a big hand of applause for Sharma for doing such a beautiful job. So now they're called nodes because now you see, this is all a beautiful story, but what is it to do with reality? During the eclipse of time, the shadow that falls on the Surya is called Rahu. During lunar eclipse, the shadow that falls on the moon is called Ketu. That's why they're nodal points. And that's what it means that Rahu was trying to engulf Surya. That's what it means that Ketu is trying to engulf Chandra. This is related to the eclipse point of it. How incredible is the dharma of Sanatan, that even nodal points are worshipped to relieve you from all the troubles that these nodal points will make. Because they have become immortal, they are worshipped as the immortal nodal points as Rahu and Ketu. And this particular mantra, he told the entire story very beautifully. Thank you, sir. And the point is, the Ketu is the one that does not have the head. And then Rahu is the one that only has the head. So this is a very interesting, beautiful, you all should now go back and understand how this is related to our own spiritual existence as the body and the mind. What is this eclipse associated with? Because the association of the Ketu is with the moon, association of the Ketu is with the moon, and the moon is referred to in mythology as Soma. And because the word Soma comes in this mantra is used for Ketu Graha. Full circle closed. Where is the Soma coming here? Okay, let's see this mantra. Now I will explain to what is this Brahma Devanam, Padavih Kavinam, Rishir Vipranam, Mahisho Mruganam, Sieno Grudranam, Swadhitir Vananam, Somaha Pavitram Atyeti Rebhan. Pavitram Ati Iti Rebhan Somaha. So the word Pavitram has come and the word Soma has come, and that is this is associated with the purity. This is associated with the Soma. Soma here also means not only the Chandra, Soma also means the Shiva Shakti, the supreme. But in reality, this mantra is nothing to do with Ketu Graha. That's a very different story. So what is the best of best? So this mantra from Rigveda celebrates the best of the best. Who are the best of the best? The supreme amongst the supreme. Amongst all gods, Brahman is the supreme. Brahma Devanam. Brahma doesn't here mean the four-headed Chaturveda Brahma. Not that. Brahman is the first and the foremost amongst the gods, the most superior. Padavih Kavinam. amongst all the kavis, means the visionaries, amongst all those people that are the visionaries, the sages are the Padavih Kavinam, means he is also the leader. The Brahman is the leader of the all the visionaries. Kaving Kavinam. Kaving Kavinam. Padavih Kavinam. Amongst Vipraha, means those that are austerious, amongst those, Rishi is the supreme. Amongst all the wild animals, Mahishaha, the bull, is the supreme. Amongst all the birds, eagle is the supreme. And for the entire Vana, means the forest, axe is the supreme. Somaha, which is the divine essence, surpasses all, and the resounding one that purifies. Somaha Pavitram Atyeti Rebhan. This is the meaning of it. Brahma Devana Padavih Kavinam Rishir Viprana Mahisho Mrugana Syeno Gridhana Gasvadhitirvanana Gum Somah Pavitramatyeti Rebhan. See, when you understand these mantras and you chant them, you put them in context and the bliss is different. Otherwise, what will happen is I'll keep saying the same thing so that at some point you will wake up and say, why am I chanting? What is the purpose of this chanting? Am I chanting these mantras because I feel good? Yes, that's how it starts with. You feel good when you chant Rudram every day. But feeling good is the first aspect of it. It gives you some solace and peace of mind. From there, when you go deeper into it, then you turn that peace into a choiceless awareness. So Brahma Devana mantra is introduced here because the best amongst the best are those that have totally annihilated their body, mind, sensual consciousness and channeled it for the sake of the divine supreme. Brahma Devanam. What is the next line? Okay, please pull up the next line. Asatas sajjeta takshuhu, right? Okay. Now, after that Brahma Devanam, Asat Sat E Tatakshuhu. Asat. Asat Sat E Tatakshuhu. Okay, before we get into let's come back to our syntax of the meaning of the mantra. Brahma Devanam will be the Brahman amongst all the gods. Cha, there is also A amongst these. Now I'm going to the A. Asata Sat A is those that are best amongst the best. Or amongst this Sapta Rishayaha. Sapta Rishayaha. And then a person's name is given Atrihi. That includes Atri Maharshi. Cha also Agastya Maharshi. Agastyaha. Cha. So like the Atri Maharshi, who is amongst of the Saptarishis, and also Agastya Maharshi, who is also the most renowned Rishi, all those Tatakshuhu brought forth Sat, the manifest, from Asat, the unmanifest. For what reason? Sankritaha, for the benefit of all. Avasan, they exist. Nakshatraha, as stars. Oh my God. What a beautiful syntax. You want to put it all together? Let's put it all together. So in essence, the mantra is celebrating the best amongst the best, including the 7 great rishis who have brought forth the manifest from the unmanifest for the benefit of the creation. Like them, those that perform the yajna for universal peace and prosperity, they will reach immortality, and they will also be the stars in the sky. Huh? Now you understand why a star was seen in the North Pole? Yeah, full back to Christmas, no? Why was the star seen by the 3 wise? And then they saw this star in the North Pole, and they wanted to keep going to reach that star. And when they went to this place where they were able to see the star clearly, it was such a God-forbidden place in a measure, where this God is lying amongst all the cattle and the sheep. That is why nakshatra ishankruto vasanna. They remain as the stars in the sky for the sake of benefiting the universe. Now, have we ever understood why a star was seen? And I don't know about Christians. Huh? I keep putting Madhuri. Madhuri, are you Christian? I'm sorry if you are not. I'm insulting you.
Oh, I don't have any particular religion. However,
Are you born Christian?
no,
Okay. Are
I'm
you
Jewish and Catholic.
Jewish? Okay, that's what I thought. So my apologies for asking you the question before.
That's
It's the
okay.
wrong- it's the
I'm
wrong
also
thing to do.
Catholic.
Yeah, so I thought you were Catholic. Yeah, but that's okay. See, here is the important thing. Please anyone should not take this personally. You should never say, I don't have any roots. That is spiritually an incorrect statement. Spiritually, all of us have some roots. You might have gotten deviated from them, or you may not have accepted them, or you may not have understood them. But if you are asked the question, you should there is nothing wrong in, hey, my roots are in this, but I no longer practice it. That's a different thing. Okay. However, one should not say, I don't have a root. If you don't have a root, then you're flying in. You don't have anything to be grounded upon. And getting grounded into that root gets you the sustenance required for the soul. And then as that nurtures and becomes a huge tree, it will accept everything that is there in the context of the universe. This is what Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's essence of saying is. This is the reason why he is the most supreme teacher, the best amongst the best. Why? Because he said, if you are a Christian, be truly a Christian. If you are a Muslim, be truly a Muslim. If you are a Hindu, be truly a Hindu. Then what will happen is your ability to get grounded into your faith will give you the strength to rise. And when you come and you rise with that strength, you no longer see difference across any of the religions, and it becomes an inclusive part of your consciousness that being grounded in your root, you are able to give shade to everything else. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So this body's question, asking the question about, not to put anybody on spot. I'm asking, do you know? Because if somebody is rooted in practicing that faith, then what will happen? My understanding is limited because I'm not rooted in that faith. Therefore, I want to learn. It is not to challenge anybody or put anybody on spot. It is only to learn better. So why did I come to this? What was the reason why I came to this? Anybody remember the route?
The
The route?
North Pole
The
star.
The star.
The star in the North Pole. What is the symbolic spiritual significance of the star in the North Pole? The star showed up because a star was born. A star, the best amongst the best. Brahma Devanam. We all sing these carols and all of that stuff, but somebody has to sit and really actually explain to these children what these carols spiritually mean. Then hopefully they will find more joy and really joy to the world. Joy actually represents, the word joy is a very beautiful meaning Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba has given. J for Jesus, O for others, Y for you. Joy to the world. We sing that, right? In a Christmas discourse, Bhagavan has said this. Jesus first, others next, you last is joy. If you put you first, which is most of us do that, then it is a disaster. Here, Jesus doesn't mean this, mean the body referred to as Jesus. Jesus as the Christ who is the best amongst the best. Who is the best amongst the best? Brahma Devanam. Brahman is the first. Others next. Serving others is next. And you as the last. So this mantra that we are studying is very beautifully highlighting how the best amongst the best who exist only for the sake of universal peace, who exist only for love and service and sacrifice, when they are what their mission is, what do? Asat sat e tatakshuhu. They are able to bring forth the manifest from the unmanifest. Are you all with me? Have I lost 90% of you or what? Huh?
Uncle,
Maria,
that line I got lost.
Huh?
That line, that line I got lost.
That
Just
line
that
you
line.
got lost. Okay.
Yeah.
Asat sat e tatakshuhu. Asatas sadhye tatakshuhu. That's what is the line is saying, right? So that line, what does it mean? Asat means unmanifest. Sat is manifest. Tatakshuhu, bring forth. Ye, those people bring forth the manifest from the unmanifest. Are you ready? So you have to understand two things. What is manifest? What is unmanifest? Where does the manifest come from?
Unmanifest.
Maya.
Your Rama, Maya, Giya, why all that complex answers? If you say like that, then the next question I ask is, what is Maya? And not you. The entire universe cannot put together and describe what Maya is. Jnaninam api chetamsi. The most realized and the sentient ones cannot tell what Maya is. So do not give this answer as Maya, because that is the escape route. Whenever you don't know anything, you say Maya. So where was he saying? What were you saying? Somebody said?
Unmanifest?
Unmanifest. Okay, the manifest comes from the
Unmanifest.
unmanifest. What is an example of that?
A seed? A seed?
Beautiful. Yes. I'm glad you took some time to reflect. Seed and a
Seed and a tree.
tree. What is unmanifest?
The tree.
The tree. Unmanifest is the tree.
No, the seed.
Okay. The tree is the unmanifest in the seed. That is the way you have to understand. Which came first?
It's like the chicken and the egg then, which
No,
came
no,
first.
that we know. I'm asking you, you don't, if you're like, I always joke, right? If you say, where is your house opposite to church? Where is church opposite to my home? That's not the question. Question is, which came first? Seed and tree only. Don't go to chick and egg. It is like, that means it doesn't answer the question. Does it answer the question? Yeah. Which came first? Anybody?
I think seed, because in the seed already tree is there. So it's how you
How
look
did,
at the
how did,
seed.
where did the seed come from?
Seed came from the tree. They both together. There is no separation. There's no separation.
There is no, how can there be no separation? Hello, there is a seed, there is a tree. How come there is no, there is a separation?
To me, it's one and the same. It's how you are looking at it.
It cannot be one and the same, because if I gave you a seed, and I'll tell you what tree is in it, will you be able to tell?
No, I will plant it, and then whatever will come out,
Ah.
it was there in the unmanifestation.
Now, God forbidden, if it is an avocado tree, when will you know? Ah, it's not that easy an answer to say. No, it is what? So what is first?
The tree.
The tree. How did the tree come from?
From the seed.
Okay, so which is first?
Shekhar Gar, na,
There's
Sairam
no
sir,
answer for this, Saina.
what is
There,
exactly
no,
the
there is
meaning
an
is,
answer. Hello,
this
Sairam.
is-
Sairam. Do not, 1 second, Sharma. Do not say there is no answer for this. Do not say there is no answer. That is not the correct answer. Therefore, that's called giving up. Therefore, there is no answer. That means I give up. Let's move on. What's the next mantra? That is, Sharma Chappani.
this was saying is something like avyaktam and vyaktam, manifest and unmanifest. You see certain things which you do not know, or rather you do not know its existence, and then it came to existence, and again it disappeared. This is what
Okay.
the cycle is about.
No,
And,
no. The cycle. What the cycle is. No. Let's. What are we actually looking at in the seed and the tree cycle? What are we looking at? Cause and effect. Cause and effect is what you're really looking at. Cause and effect can never be delinked. They're always, wherever there is an effect, there is a cause that is associated with this. The cause comes because of the effect comes because of the cause. So the cause and effect are inseparable. So what do you have to do in that case? See, please pay attention. This is extremely powerful and extremely simple. If you are able to grasp it, you will have total answer to this question. Do not say there is no answer to this question. So what is inseparable is cause and effect. Cause and effect are inseparable. So then if cause and effect are inseparable, what do you have to do? You have to go to the root of what is the cause and effect. What is the root of cause and effect? So both the seed and the tree are dependent on one thing called earth. So therefore, earth is the root of seed and tree. Earth is the answer for the seed and tree. What is the root for earth? Water is the root of the earth. What is the root? Now, if you keep asking these questions, then as you go deeper and deeper into this, from the gross to go to the subtle, to the subtler, to the subtlest, and that is what is happening. And this is what exactly Bhagavan has described in Gita Vahini. This is not my knowledge, by the way. When I was reading this Gita Vahini, and when this phenomenon he is describing, then it dawned, oh my God, what a beautiful, powerful way to answer this question. So what is the root of water? Fire. What is the root of fire? Wind. What is the root of wind? Space. What is the root of space? Silence is the answer. Silence is the answer.
Consciousness?
No, silence is the answer. Then what is the root of consciousness? What does it mean, consciousness? Please open your video and share your beautiful answer. What is the root of consciousness? What is consciousness? Until space, you understood what is space, right? Huh? Hello. Until space, you understood what is space. What is there to understand beyond space? What is it beyond space? Even space itself you cannot understand. If I simply ask the question, what is space? You can't answer. Not you. Personally, not you. The entire scientific community cannot answer. So if the entire intellectual community cannot answer what is space, how can I answer? Impossible. So if you cannot even answer space which you actually see, then you throw the question, consciousness. What is consciousness? You all want to understand. You all want to understand this root of this asata sadye tatakshuhu. That statement is rooted in one of the most beautiful and powerful hymns in Rigveda. And that's called Nasadiya Suktam. Nasadiya Suktam. It's called the hymn of creation or the hymn of manifestation, the hymn of unmanifest. Na asat, na plus asat, na asat. Iya becomes diya. Na asat iya suktam. If you put it all together, it's called Nasadiya Suktam. Na asat. Where did you hear this? Hello, Sairam. Where did you hear na plus asat?
Previous somewhere in
Huh?
only.
Ashwini brothers.
Ashwini brothers. Yes. Na satya bhujju muhaduf patangai. Very good. See, now, this is what I'm calling as real study. The moment you hear the word nasat, oh, nasatya, where I heard this, na plus asat, yeah, nasatya, na plus asat, yeah, satya, that which is not untruth, that which is not unmanifest, that which is not unmanifest, that which is not unmanifest. What an interesting way to describe that. Na sat sadye tatakshuhu. Na asat sat e tatakshuhu. Now there are a few people working on the script of Nasadiya Suktam. Now they understand why Anna is asking them to work on Nasadiya Suktam script. Okay, what is the time? Oh, 7:54. So the next study we'll have is Nasadiya Suktam. To really get into the understanding. Now you see, when we were studying about Bhu, we studied Bhu Suktam. Now we are talking about Nasadiya Suktam. It is incredibly important why this particular concept is introduced in Aruna Prashna at this juncture. What we are talking about is, until this point, as I was mentioning, there is all this cosmogony, that is what is called. Everything in the cosmos was being described very beautifully. And then finally we came to the terrestrial aspect of it. And the terrestrial aspect of it is the manifest of the unmanifest. And here, why these Sapta Rishis are introduced? Because the Sapta Rishis are also called as Prajapatis, that are responsible for the creation. They are called Brahma Manasa Putras, the Brahman himself, they came from them. And this is the Hiranyagarbha aspect of it. The 7 Prajapatis or Sapta Rishis associated with this Manvantaram called Vaivasvata Manvantaram are Kashyapa, Atri, Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaja. These are the 7 Prajapatis whose penance and purity have resulted in the glory of the creation. And those that perform these sacrifices with such equivalent austerity and penance will attain the lofty status like that of those Saptarishis as stars in the sky. So says sage Angirasa. Angirasa. Angirasa has basically Atha Pavitra Angirasaha. Until here, Nakshatra Shankruto Vasan, all those statements, Pavitrante Brahmanas, all those statements are by Angirasa Maharshi. Angirasa has now described that the purpose of the existence of penance or this austerity or the yajna is to bring forth the manifest from the unmanifest. That is what is called Divya Sankalpa or Vajra Sankalpa. That which cannot be even comprehended by an ordinary mind will come into existence with that incredible Divya Sankalpa. That the humanity wonders how is this possible? Or how is this made possible? How did this come into existence? That capacity is given only because of this totality of purity and unity, which gives the divinity to manifest that from unmanifest. That is the essence of this. That is the essence of this entire Panchati is that. And then they are introducing Rishayaha Sapta Atrihi Cha Yat. Rishaya Sapta Atrish Yat. Agastyascha Nakshatra Shankruto Vasan. Now you understand, full circle completed with this mantra. So what do they do? What is the functionality of these stars? What is the functionality of these rishis? Is Asat Sat E Tatakshuhu. Okay, Nasadiya Suktam. Once this process of creation is also elaborated beautifully in both Torah. What is Torah now? What is Torah? What is Torah, Madhuri? Now you can tell what is Torah. 0. No, don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
No
it's
idea.
a book.
It's a
It's
book,
this ancient scroll that has some of, I think, the Old Testament.
Old Testament. What does it contain?
There were stories and teachings.
The fundamentally starts with the Genesis. It starts with the Genesis. Genesis is the whole aspect of creation. But when you read that Genesis, it starts with the Big Bang and all those kind of things. But Nasadiya Suktam is even more fundamental. It's one of the most highly studied Suktam, especially by all the Westerners. The Westerner philosophers have put enormous amount of effort in trying to even touch the surface of this Nasadiya Suktam. And it's called Nasadiya Suktam because it goes Nasadasi, no sadasi. It starts with Nasadasi, no sadasi. Therefore, it's called Nasat, Na Asat Iya Suktam becomes Nasadiya Suktam. And with that, we'll take up the Nasadiya Suktam in the next class. And I'm actually thinking, because we are adding these addendums, Aruna Prishna will become a lifelong pursuit. On Wednesdays at 6 p.m., we will actually, this coming Wednesday at 6 p.m., we will study 6 p.m. California time, which would be 7:30 a.m. in India. only apologies is to people from South Africa. South Africa. What time will it be in South Africa, Sister Shirley? 6 p.m. 6 plus 9, 15. Oh, that's very, very early for Sanusha and all these guys. Okay. Oh. Nasadiya Suktam we will do on Wednesday also, so that we can complete Nasadiya Suktam. That Nasadiya Suktam will become a phenomenal founding ground for the rest of the Aruna Prashna. You understand what is unmanifest, what is manifest, what is there to begin with. All of this stuff is very beautifully described. So my apologies to my sisters. There are no brothers from South Africa. The sisters from South Africa. For the very early in the morning, you would have to catch up on YouTube. Otherwise, it will take too long to finish that. It's a very simple suktam. It's only 7 ruks are there. We should be able to complete it by next weekend as we go through it. Okay? Sai Ram. Okay, let's Yadakshara Pada Bhrashtam. Swati Iyer, Yadakshara Pada Bhrashtam.
ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओं तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु.
Okay, any questions? Okay. Whoever is in Bay Area, please stay safe. I understand a lot of tremors happening in San Ramon and Pleasant and those areas. Some 15 and 16 tremors are happening. Let's pray that nothing untoward will happen. Okay, Sai Ram.
Sairam, when you say the root is earth for tree and seed, going back to the question which came first, that means both have come from the earth.
Correct.
Okay, so there's nothing like a which came first.
Correct.
is,
Which came first cannot be answered because cause
Mhm.
and effect are so intricately associated. It is not practical to answer that question. So you have to ask what is the root of it. They both came from earth means then there is no first or next.
Okay.
So similarly, you should never say that this is Maya, this is that, because those are unanswerable questions. That's a dead end. The moment, then if you say this is Maya, then what is the root of Maya? What is the root of Maya?
Parabrahma.
Sharma garu cheppandi.
Ignorance.
Parabrahma.
Huh? Ignorance, yeah.
Parabrahma.
Somebody said ignorance.
Parabhrahma tattvam antanu.
No, ignorance. Ignorance is the correct word. Ajnanam is the source of the avidya.
Okay. So,
So,
sir, one thing, Sairam Shekhar Garu, earlier once during your discourses or your explanations, I heard there are 3 pramanams which we normally take: Sabdha pramanam, Pratyaksha pramanam, Anumana pramanam. And you have mentioned just now in the process of evolution, which has come first, in the things like a sequence, which is also explained in Upanishads. But after the space beyond what? So we leave it as the Anumana Pramanam only, or is it because we don't have any Pratyaksha Pramanam? Is the question, which actually we touched these things before.
No, very good. That's a very good question. What sir is asking is Smritif Pratyakshamaityam Anumanas Chatushtayam This is what Aruna Prashna says in the second Anuvakam. So Smriti is memory, Pratyaksha, Aitihya, Anumana. So this particular reference point is a reference. Smriti is reference point. Right? Smriti is a reference point. So what the answer to your question is, it is Smriti. Smriti is the way you have to understand the unmanifest. That is exactly what we will go into in the Nasadiya Suktam. And that is the reason why these Saptarishis are also introduced. Saptarishis are the ones that it's a oxymoron to say they experienced the unmanifest. There is nothing called experience of the unmanifest. That's an oxymoron. So, going back to this source question, we were talking about the Maya, whatever we had called Maya. Maya is fundamentally, if you want to put it in a simple way, how to understand this Maya, don't understand Maya, because it is the same aspect. This is the beautiful aspect of Nasadiya Suktam, which actually gives a little more insight into what we are talking as the unmanifest, and in the context of that, what gets manifest, what is the unmanifest. Maya is basically error and delusion. Those are the two definitions of Maya. How does the error occur? How does the error occur? Because of ignorance. What is the source of ignorance? That is the most ignorant question.
The source of the Panchakleshas.
No.
Okay.
You cannot answer that question, because see, when you mistook a rope as a snake, which is error or ignorance, when you ask the question, what is the source of that? There is no answer for that. So don't ask that question. Mahagurus say, don't try to find that which actually does not exist. Then you will be in this darkness loop. You will go into a black hole, and you will never get out of that black hole. Look at only what is. You have to find the unmanifest through the manifest. You can never find the unmanifest through the unmanifest. That is the answer to that. Okay, next. Anybody else?
Sai Ramana, I'm just not able to understand when you said the root of the earth is water. So does that mean that water has the properties of the earth? That's why it is considered as the root, or I'm not able to comprehend that aspect.
Yeah.
And likewise, all the remaining things, when you said what is the root of water, you said fire. So I'm not able to. It's totally blank.
Yeah.
over here.
It's called Badabagni. So what it is, when the root means what is a subtler, right? Everything you're going subtler than the subtlest. So simple way, at least the way Bhagavan has explained in Gita Vahini, is that as it loses its properties, it becomes subtler and subtler and subtler. So the attributes of the earth being the sound, the feel, the form, the smell, and the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and the taste. Right? So as you go through these things, you will notice, do a chart, you will notice water is one property less, like that. It becomes subtler. So ultimately, it would leave with one property called vibration. It's not even sound. Shabda is not sound. Shabda is vibration. What is that has one property? Shabda, the vibration. Which is the one that carries the vibration?
The Om.
Akasha?
No, space.
Space.
Space. So even that is lost. What is there?
Silence.
Huh?
Silence.
Silence. Yes. You cannot answer. You cannot answer. There's nothing, a vibration does not mean audible sound. Huh? This sound that you're talking about, most of us think that the sound is what you hear. Sound is not what you hear. What you hear is the most distorted vibration. You go, if any of you are curious, you go ask the question, what is the process of hearing by the ear? You will be surprised. You will be shocked. Go do exercise. How do I hear? If you are able to hear. How do you hear? How do ears perceive the sound? That is now the Vaikhari. And that Vaikhari has something subtler than that, which is now you're taking vibration. Vibration as it is the audible vibration versus vibration in the medium, the vibration that is perceived, and the vibration that is unmanifest. What are these four in Sanskritam?
Para Pashyanti,
Para, Pashyanti,
Vaikhari.
Madhyama,
Madhyama.
Vaikhari. Tvanchatvari Vakpadani. So what is that even before that? Para also means unmanifest. That is exactly what we are contemplating in the context of. I know it's way too subtler than that. So the bottom line is, Chandrasekhara, it is going from the gross to the subtle to the subtler to the subtlest to all of the aspects is what is called this source.
Yeah, but
The gross is the manifestation of the subtle, always.
so what process takes how do we step by step go to this or undergo this process? Anna? I mean, is it through inquiry, like, by the way how you ask, like, keep questioning, and then that's how
The only way to the only way to spiritually progress is always to understand what the question behind is, not to find the answer.
right.
If you keep questioning only, you are alive. The moment you say I know it, you are dead. How many times I said that? I know means what you know is dead, what you have known is dead. So never ever say I know Rudram. That means you are dead, Rudram is dead. Yeah. So that is always, how do you keep Rudram alive? It's only through this process of questioning. It's only through this process of that. That's what, when you look at this incredible teaching of Vedic hymns, they are mostly based on questions, not answers. Do you ever see hymns where they are asking questions? They are declarations. You believe this, that's it. There is no question asked. But actually, Vedas is the opposite. In Vedas, always there are questions. There are questions and question after question after question. So there is no other scripture that gives answers through questions. And it keeps questioning. What are the questions? Konu Maria Amiditaha. So how many times questions have come in Aruna Prishna? Write down all the questions. Nasadiya Suktam also starts with questions only. So the only way to keep spiritual progress is question. But what we think, all these scriptures are blind beliefs. What has happened is the fellow who doesn't know how to ask the question, then he stopped progressing, and then therefore he said, let me believe. But the rishis never did that. The rishis always, there was always questions. You go look at Nachiketa, how many questions he's asking. You ask Gargi, how many questions she asks. All the Upanishads, everything, it starts with questions only. Some are even named after a question. Keno Upanishad. Kena is a question. Kena means it's a question. So an Upanishad is there as Keno Upanishad. So ask questions. That's, if you cannot ask a question, that means you lost that fire point somewhere is lost. That's why this body is always asking question. Huh? How do you know this? Where did you know this? How did you get to this? What happened? Why that? Because that is the only way to study. If you only simply give answers, you're a dead person. If you actually ask a question, then you keep the conversation alive. Sairam, quote ఏం చెప్పాలా? Yesterday you were the cause of manas satyana shuddhanti.
No question, Andy.
No. See, that's exactly what I told is the problem. If you say there is no question, that means what has happened? What has happened? Now, these questions also you have to be cautious with some question. Some questions are totally irrelevant and they are too much of intellectualization. Questioning does not mean intellectualization. Please remember this. A question is not about intellectual greatness. A question is truly about, question is really truly about trying to understand than trying to display that you understood the 7 principles of 7 habits of successful people. The question should be based on understanding, not to show that you understood. Difference. You understood the difference between the two? Then truly what will happen? See, now no longer this becomes a Veda study. This becomes actually a study of the self. What we're talking here is all about the self. 100% about the self. How do I become a star? And that star that we talked about, how incredible it is that this whole Nakshatrai Shankruto Vasan, Nakshatrai Shankruto Vasan, how did that mantra come? The class before Christmas, how did it come? How did I calculate Christmas is coming on Thursday, December 25th? So the Sunday before that, we should pick a mantra that is related to a star. And then somebody, so therefore I said, okay, let's study this mantra. Is anything like that happen? Does anything like that? Is there any planning about that? How did this Nakshatra Shankruta Vasan will come about the star and the Christmas, and the whole thing is about star, putting a star on a Christmas tree. And this tree is going like this. Why is this tree going like this? Why do they put that particular tree for Christmas celebration? This is what happens is now it's not intellectualization. What is the symbolic association of that tree that is being put for Christmas and put a star on the top of it? How did that happen? So this pointed tree is going from the gross to the subtler, to the subtlest, to the subtlest, and at the top of it is this star that is pointing you to the divine supreme. And that is the symbolism of the star. The star represents the divine supreme, and the divine supreme star is placed on the subtler and the subtlest at the tip of the universe. Nakshatrai Shankruto Vasanna. I can go on and on. One time in Florida, I think in Miami for Shivaratri, gave a 4 or 5 hour satsang. The entire thing was multi-faith aspect of Bhagavan Shiva. The entire form of Shiva, how that Shiva represents all the faiths, all the dharmas. Remember that, Somo? So that then what happens is that's exactly you are rooted in your when you are rooted in Sanatana Dharma, that Sanatana Dharma, the root of it will point you to include every single faith in you believe. Now, just talking about Christmas, the star and the tree and everything, what is the symbolism associated with it? How profound and powerful it is? You ask 90% of the people why you put a Christmas tree, only to hide the gifts underneath it. Jai Sai Ram. Okay. Swastif
Now,
Prajabhyah.
so there is there's an arti for these Saptarishis, I believe, in Kashi, which is very, very powerful, they say.
I
Just
see. Very
wanted
good. Very good. Are you included in that?
to. No, but I'll have the fortunate to attend that in January.
Very good. Excellent. Jai Sai Ram. Okay. Om Swastif Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishah Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Samasta Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति